A very good day to you people. My name is Mohit, and today I'm going to show you how to make a sound slider functional. In part number 1, guys, you must have seen how we can actually construct a sound slider. That did not cover how to actually put life into it. This is what we are going to do in part number 2. That is this tutorial. In the last tutorial I showed you how to make the sound knob go from left to right, run from left to right inside the groove. Okay, and in this part, guys, I'm going to show you how we will use it to manipulate the sound. Before I can actually start explaining the script to you, let me first show you our published preview. Here goes. Control Enter on the keyboard to test the movie. The music starts to play. Then I can take the sound slider, the knob, left to right, and increase or decrease the volume. I got a message out here which tells me how much percentage the volume is. Okay, I can, guys, hit the pause button and resume playing from where it left off by hitting this play button. Okay, so very cool. And once, guys, this sound does one complete cycle, a message is displayed here which says music finished playing, and then you can resume playing once again by hitting this play button. So, guys, let's see how it's done. Let me come off the preview. Guys, before I actually dig inside my ActionScript 3 panel and explain the same to you, I reckon I should first explain certain terms to you. I'm going to be using the sound class, the sound channel class, and the sound transform class. I think this is necessary before I can actually take you inside the actions panel. We have to get down to the very basics. Now, the sound class is the main class in which a sound will actually reside. This class is the starting point of any sound related program and is used to start playing a sound. Okay, the sound channel class, what is it used for? Let's check that. A sound can be played through a sound channel class which provides additional controls over a sound object. The most basic of these additional controls is the ability to stop the playback of a sound. So I'll be using the sound class to play the sound. I'll be playing it in the sound channel, through the sound channel, and once you play the sound through the sound channel, then you get the control to stop the sound. Then we have the sound transform class. Now this class is responsible for altering or manipulating the sound volume, also for the sound panning, which we won't be covering. We also won't be covering the sound mixer class. Its most basic function is to stop playing all sounds regardless of the source. So let me go back to Flash and explain the script to you. In fact, let me do one thing. Let me open up a new file and write a small script and explain that to you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to say variable my sound of the type bark, space equals space, new bark, parent semicolon, and my sound dot play method, guys. Now in the play method I'll be passing 3 parameters. The first parameter is the starting point where the sound should begin in milliseconds. The second parameter is the number of loops. If I keep it to 0, which is the default, it means I want my sound to loop just once. And the third parameter is a variable, my transform, which I'll declare in a minute. And this variable, my transform of the type sound transform, will store the volume. So the first parameter is the initial starting point. Should the sound start playing from the beginning, from the middle, somewhere in the middle, etc, etc, and how many times it should loop. 0 actually implies 1, not 0. 0 is the default. My transform will be a variable which will hold the volume. We'll soon see how. And variable my sound is holding a dog bark. Now how do I do that? Let's see that too. I'm in the sounds library that I pulled up from Windows Common Libraries Sounds, and from there I'll pull up this animal dog bark. I'll right click, I'll say properties, I'll go to the ActionScript tab, I'll click on the export for ActionScript button, and I'll give a class name called bark. I'll say OK. I'll say OK again, ignoring the warning. Now once you link it up, once you do the AS linkage as it's called, you can then store this bark sound inside the my sound, and then you can use the mySound.play method to play the sound using these three parameters. But guys, we haven't defined the myTransform class as yet. Let's see how we do that. I'll say variable myTransform of the type sound transform space equals space new sound transform parent semicolon. Okay, so I've created an instance of a variable myTransform which will hold the volume. How does it do that? Let me show it to you. I'll say copy and a paste here, dot volume, okay, space equals space, and give it an initial volume of, let's say, 1. That's the max volume. The min volume is 0. I should be good to go now. Let me say Control Enter, show it to you. So the sound looped just once at full volume. Okay, this time I'm going to drop the volume to 0.5. Let me also increase the number of loops to, let's say, 3. Test it. 1, 2, 3. Pretty good. Works just the way I want. Let me drop the volume to 0.1. Test it. You can hardly hear it, guys. Working perfectly. And now this time let me put it back to 1. That's the max volume, maximum volume, and the initial starting point, let me put it to 100. That's 100 milliseconds. Control Enter. So it starts a little belated. Okay, and guys, the way to actually play the sound in the channel, through the channel, so you can stop it, I'll show that to you as well. I need to create another variable. Let me call it variable my channel of the type sound channel space equals space new sound channel parent semicolon, and then what you need to do is you need to say my channel space equals space mySound.play 100. I'll change the 100 to 0. I'll want the sound to play from the very beginning. Loop 1 time, so the default is 0, and according to myTransform is holding the through the volume property is holding the value 1. So it will play the dog should bark at full blast. Control Enter. That's it. Perfect. So guys, now that you've understood how I can actually play the sound through the channel, let me also see, as we were talking earlier, that once you play the sound through the channel, you're able to stop it. So if I say my channel dot stop parent semicolon, I should be able to stop the sound immediately. As soon as it plays, it should stop, and which means that the sound doesn't play at all. Perfect. Guys, notice that if I was not playing it through the channel, and if I would use the stop method directly here, mySound.stop, you would get an error. That doesn't work. So guys, I think I've explained the transform class, the sound channel class, and the sound class properly. I've also showed you how to actually instantiate a new sound. So keeping these basics in mind, I think you shouldn't have a problem understanding my script to manipulate the sound in the sound slider. Let's get started. So guys, I'm going back to my earlier file, the earlier document, and okay, let me test it briefly before I can actually explain the script to you. Wonderful. Hitting the pause button, hitting the play button, increasing and decreasing the volume. Lovely. Now let me dig inside the actions panel and explain the script to you guys. Okay. Line number 1 through line number 5 I have actually declared declared 5 variables, guys. The first variable is called isPlaying of the type boolean, and I've set it to true. Why have I done that? See, whenever it comes to sound, you need to check whether the sound is playing or not. If it is playing, you need to set it to a certain boolean value. Booleans can always contain either true or false, guys. So when you check two conditions, whether something is happening or not happening, you need the boolean. So variable isPlaying of the type boolean is equal to true. Depending on whether it's true or false, we will be executing a certain statements. We'll see that soon. Line number 2 says variable last position of the type number is equal to 0. Now the last position is required for the pause button, and we'll soon see how. Line number 3 instantiates the piano music. Variable my sound of the type piano is equal to new piano, just the way we had instantiated Bach a little while ago. Then variable my channel of the type sound channel is instantiating an instance of the sound channel. You need to play the sound through the channel to be able to stop it, as we saw a couple of minutes ago. We are also creating a variable my transform. This will be holding the volume through the dot volume property. Okay, this will be holding the volume, guys. So line number 7 says my transform dot volume is equal to 0.5. That's because the initial volume I wish to keep it at 50%, half the intensity. Now the slider underscore MC dot progress underscore MC. Now the progress underscore MC, if you remember part number 1, is actually the blue slider in the slider itself. This is the main slider, and this blue strip is the progress underscore MC. I want the initial state to be scaled at 50%, only showing from this edge to this edge. That's the reason why I keep it at 0.5. Now what I've done in line number 10 is I am playing the sound with the help of the play method. My sound, which is holding the sound dot play, I'm playing it through the channel. Excuse me, guys, and I'm ensuring that it's playing from the very beginning. It's looping just once. 0 implies 1 here. 0 is the default, and playing at a volume of 0.5. Now my transform, if you notice in line number 7, is holding the volume at 50%. The max is 1, the min is 0 through the volume property. Okay, so the sound will play through the channel at 50% intensity. Line number 12 declares an add event listener, which is attached to my channel, and what it does is when the sound is playing through the channel, it'll listen when the sound gets completed. So the event is sound underscore complete event. It will execute the sound complete handler. What the sound complete handler does is it will reset the last position to 0. It will stop the channel. Okay, the sound comes to a halt anyways when the sound gets complete, but you still need to stop the channel so that you can you know, play it again, play the sound and channel once again, otherwise it'll pull up an error. You also need to display a message which says music finished playing. Guys, this is the message box where this message music finished playing will appear, and you need to set the boolean to false, because the music has finished playing, so you need to change the boolean from true. Line number 1 says it's true to false. Okay, now we have two buttons, play underscore btn and pause underscore btn, to which we have attached event listeners of the type mouse click, and they will start and stop the sound functions. They will execute these functions, start sound and stop sound. These are the two buttons, guys. This is play underscore btn, this is pause underscore btn. Okay, so let's see what the function start sound does when it's clicked, when the button is clicked rather. So line number 26 says, if the boolean is playing is false, see, I could have written is playing is equal to false, or I can say exclamation mark is playing. It's one and the same thing. So if the music is not playing, then what needs to be done is, this is an if conditional, guys. This is the condition and this is the execution. What needs to be done is the sound needs to be played through the play method, through the channel, my channel, starting its last position, looping just 1, 0 implies 1, guys, using the my transform variable, which is holding the volume property. So whatever the volume, play that volume. And then I need to set the is playing boolean type of variable back to true, because the sound is playing now. I need to change the boolean. Message underscore mc dot text needs to be null. This is the message underscore mc text box, guys, this one. Excuse me, I really got a very bad throat. What else needs to be done? While somebody clicks on that button and the sound gets completed, I need to execute the sound handler once again. This function sound complete handler has been called once again, and it's right here. So the last position needs to be reset to 0, the channel needs to be stopped, the message needs to be output which says music finished playing and is playing. The boolean needs to be set to false because the music has stopped playing. Okay, now line number 36 shows us the function stop sound. The stop sound was called, guys, in line number 22. Okay, when somebody presses the pause underscore btn button, does a click on that, hits the mouse button, the function stop sound needs to be executed, and the function stop sound says that the last position, make it equal to my channel dot position. So wherever the sound is playing right now, capture that position and immediately stop the sound in the channel after capturing that position. We are capturing the last position, guys, because we need to resume playing from the last position when we hit the play button. That's the reason we need to capture the last position. A lot of traffic outside. Sorry for the disturbance, guys. I'm sure the microphone can pick up a lot of traffic outside. Mumbai, India. It's a very busy city, big busy city. Anyways, so after capturing the last position, which is equal to the position of the sound playing in the channel, using the position property, I need to stop the sound playing in the channel, and since the music comes to stop or a pause, I need to set the variable is playing to false once again, since the sound is not playing anymore. Very good. Now, guys, line number 43 is telling us how to make the sound slider, which we have already done in part number 1. I made certain changes. You can take a note of these changes. I will not be explaining these changes, guys. I've already covered this up in part number 1. If you haven't seen part number 1, please go and check it out. Line number 50 says add event listener. It's not attached to anything. Whenever you don't attach add event listener to anything and make an interframe event, it means that you're actually attaching it to the playhead. So whenever the playhead enters the frame, please execute the function xpause. Now enter frame events by their very nature execute at FPS, frames per second. The default FPS for Flash is 24. So this enter frame event will fire off 24 times in one single second. What will happen 24 times in one single second, guys? Slider underscore mc dot mc dot x. Now what is slider underscore mc dot mc? Is the volume knob. The slider as a whole is called slider underscore mc, and this volume knob is called mc. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to extract the x of that, the x coordinate of that. Guys, notice that the x of this mc will fluctuate between 0 and 200. This edge is x0, this edge is x200. So the mc.x, mc is this knob, guys, volume knob, is always either 0 or 200 or somewhere in the middle. Okay, and I'm dividing it by 200. So if you divide a value between 0 and 200 by 200, you will always get a value that is between 0 and 1, and I'm feeding it to a variable called my volume. My volume, the min is 0, max is 1. So basically, using the volume knob, I'm able to extract the volume. I can manipulate then the volume. Wonderful. What else I'm doing is the slider underscore mc is the blue strip, guys, sitting inside the slider. Very sorry, guys. Slider underscore mc dot progress underscore mc. So progress underscore mc is the blue strip sitting inside the slider underscore mc, and I wanted to scale it down or scale it up and make it equal to my volume, and my volume is a value which is between 0 and 1 that we will extract through line number 53. So the progress underscore mc will show up only as much as the volume. It will correspond to the intensity of the volume, or basically the length will be up to this knob only. Let me show you once again. Control enter. See, the blue strip, the length or the width, guys, is only as much as the slider knob, the volume knob, because it is getting truncated because it's being scaled. Wonderful. So I'm scaling it down and making it equal to my volume. Also, I'm outputting a message which, using this formula, is telling me what is the volume percentage, what is the intensity of the volume. It's being output here in this field, which is volume underscore mc. Alright, and line number 56 is important, guys. Now what I'm doing is I'm changing the my transform dot volume property and making it equal to my volume. My volume is being checked 24 times because it's an enter frame event, and then it's feeding my volume to my transform dot volume. So my transform dot volume is changing whenever you're sliding the volume knob. Wonderful. And then what I'm doing is I'm using yet another property which is called the sound transform property. This property can be attached to the sound channel. The variable is my channel of the type sound channel. Using the sound transform property, I'm making it equal to my transform, and my transform, guys, using the volume property, is equal to my volume. So I'm actually what I'm trying to do here is I'm manipulating the sound, playing in the channel, playing through the channel, using the sound transform property and making it equal to my transform, which is actually holding the volume. Big deal. You may be confused. Just go through this tutorial 2-3 times, guys. It'll all become very simple. Or please go through the Adobe documentation. It will get simpler with the more and more reading. Please go through the sound classes. Please Google it up. Go through the documentation. I've tried my best to explain it to you, but I know when you listen to it for the very first time, you do get confused. I got very confused. I remember I wanted to make a sound slider 1 year back, and I was not able to do it. I went through a lot of material, and everybody just managed to confuse me. But then I decided the day I make it, I will try to help everybody around me. I might have done a decent effort, I'm not just sure. We'll see that. Through your comments, through your subscriptions, we'll see that. I love them, whether even if it's a negative comment. Anyways, line number 61 is a mouse up event, and whenever it's attached to the stage, guys, I could have attached it to MC, which is the volume knob, but I prefer to attach it to the stage, because what happens here is the mouse pointer may come off the MC, and when the mouse goes up and the pointer is not on the MC, the drag will never stop. So it's preferable not to attach it to MC in the slider underscore MC, but rather attach it to the stage. So no matter where the mouse pointer is, anywhere on the stage, the dragging will still stop using the stop drag method. Also, what I've done is I've created yet another enter frame event. It will execute the function message when it's not attached to anything. It's attached to the playhead, guys, by default. So every time the playhead enters a new frame, here we just have one single frame, so it will keep firing off in the same frame at FPS. 24 frames per second is the FPS, so 24 times in a second it'll keep firing off. That's how enter frame events work. What does the function message do? All it does is it nulls the volume underscore MC dot text field, this field. Basically what will happen is the moment you stop sliding this knob, the message displayed here will disappear. That's what it does. Let me show it to you once again. I'm sliding, the volume is 22%, appears, let me leave it, and it disappears. Wonderful. Okay, so that's it, guys. Wonderful juicy 72 lines of ActionScript 3. I hope have really helped you. Maybe you needed this real bad, maybe, as I needed it probably 1 year back. I really wished somebody could have come up with a decent documentation or material that could have helped me. Then I had to really toil and get this through to you. Anyways, guys, if you think it was a decent effort, please comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Do take very good care of yourself. Bye bye. Ciao.